Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Noodle Shop. I'm Tristan,
I'm Gio.
and let's get right back into it.
So today we're gonna start our episode off talking about AEW Rampage this week, this past Friday. There was some huge stuff that happened. I'll go ahead and let Tristan start off with the big,
Huge stuff. What are you talking about?
yeah, the
Arguably the biggest thing in wrestling.
yeah, I guess, yeah. So you can go ahead and start and talk about it and bring it up
Yeah.
because, I mean,
We brought it up in our very first episode.
did we?
I thought so.
I can't remember.
Because that was, I believe, the very first episode, or maybe it was the second episode, was the day that CM Punk signed to AEW.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Him and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. So he hasn't come out yet.
No.
I'll be more stoked for that one.
Yeah, you will be. Mark.
So, Mark. Burp, burp.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you know what I was just gonna
kidding.
say.
Yeah, CM Punk, arguably one of the biggest wrestlers in the past 2 decades, as far as like a following goes.
Yeah.
Um, in his hometown.
So, I really liked how they kind of kept that suspense. The show started,
Yeah.
and he didn't come out immediately. It was
Well,
literally like the crowd just yelling CM Punk.
yeah, and then like they started changing the lights, but
Yeah.
they didn't play the music or anything. They
yeah.
just changed the lights, and then everyone started cheering again, and then yeah, it
Yeah.
was cool.
I thought it was a cool entrance to the company, you know?
Yeah.
I think that what he said, how he was like, I'm going to tell you guys my story. It's going to take some time to do it. And how he was, kind of grateful with the fans being able to wait this long for him to come back.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge CM Punk fan. I didn't watch wrestling in his
In that
era
era,
of
yeah.
wrestling. Because, I watched the Attitude Era and then I kind of dipped out after the Attitude Era, after Stone Cold left. I was kind of like, no more wrestling for me until I started watching NXT again. And
See, that's the funny thing is the way like you dipped out from Attitude Era.
yeah,
That's kind of what happened with me when CM Punk left. I was like, all right, I'm done.
yeah. I think that happened. And I think kind of getting back into like when NXT started back up,
Yeah.
that got me back into wrestling. I remember going to a NXT show for the first time with one of my best friends, and Samoa Joe came out and with Finn Balor they were doing the Dusty Classics,
Yeah.
and I got to watch that match, and they ended up winning. And at first I was like, "Yo, Samoa Joe!" I was like, "I haven't seen Samoa Joe in wrestling in forever."
Yeah, because he was in TNA most
Yeah,
of his
exactly.
career.
So going back to AEW though, but
Yeah.
I think that getting out of that like the Attitude Era and not being able to see CM Punk wrestle, that kind of took the hype away from me.
So I I have two things I kind of want to say about it. Is one is uh the crowd reaction
Was
exactly
Dude,
how
it was
I
awesome. Yeah,
exactly
it was great.
if not better than what I expected it to be, considering it was Chicago, and Chicago,
It's his hometown.
if you ever get the chance to watch him wrestle in Chicago at all, there's I believe it was a No Way Out or a Money in the Bank or something where he fought Cena, and he was like, all right, after this show, regardless of if I win or lose, I'm leaving. And it was in Chicago, and he beat Cena, and he took the belt and went into the crowd and blew Vince a kiss and left through the
Oh
crowd.
wow, that's
And the
kind of
crowd
funny.
was insane.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that made it a lot better. I will say the whole thing about what you were saying, you didn't get to watch him wrestle really.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I've seen like little
Snippets,
things
yeah.
here and there, like when he was with the um man Gallows, when Gallows was with him.
Yeah.
I've seen little things here and there with that, and then when him and AJ Lee were together in wrestling, I've
Yeah.
seen that. So it was like little things here and there, but I never really got into it hardcore around that
Yeah.
era of wrestling. Because like I said, once Stone Cold left, I was just like, oh, I'm done with wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I will say I will say that, and then I feel like his promo, as far as his promo goes, I feel like AEW let him do
Oh,
whatever he
oh,
wanted for that
definitely.
promo, because that did not feel like any of it was forced. It felt like
No,
he was
definitely.
actually speaking from his heart, because he was actually like saying things
Yeah,
like how grateful and all that he
definitely. And I
is.
think I think that was the smartest thing for AEW to do, was to be like, hey, look, go speak your mind.
Yeah.
Go speak your mind.
And I
Let
like that
Yeah.
he went right after Darby Allen
Oh
immediately.
yeah, yeah, dude. By the way, Darby Allin's face paint looked dope.
Yeah, it did. It
Like
was
it was
awesome.
crazy.
But like I like that they're giving him, it's kind of like Malachi. They gave him the biggest dog first and he killed it.
Yeah.
So now they're doing it for CM Punk and he's going to kill it,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think he's gonna do good, and I think what's good is CM Punk is one of those guys that he's not. I
He's
can
not
see it already
selfish.
that, yeah, exactly. Like he's not gonna be like a Brock Lesnar or a Goldberg where they have to go squash the person that they're fighting.
Yeah,
Like I could see CM Punk really, like, even if
he's
he
going to
loses,
sell and
yeah,
everything.
even if he loses the match,
It's going to be a
it's
good
gonna be a
match.
good match, and not only that, it's gonna also progress Darby Allen, because
Yeah.
Darby Allen is still a up and comer. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, it's like he said in his promo, he all this young talent he wants to fight, and
exactly, yeah,
Darby
yeah.
Allen's the very
And
first
I
one you
mean,
think
at the
of.
end of the day, the what's gonna make AEW succeed compared to WWE is that they're gonna take their younger talent, their newer talent, and they're gonna push them.
Yeah, and
They're
put
gonna
him
raise them
with
up.
people who have that reputation like CM
Exactly.
Punk and
So
Jericho.
think about it. Darby Allen now has CM Punk's first match in AEW. That's a title under his name.
Yeah,
I think that raises who Darby Allen is as a wrestler now. Like
and CM.
he's not a lower card wrestler anymore.
No,
Now he's
not at all.
I mean he hasn't been in AEW. He hasn't been a lower card wrestler because he has Sting on his side. He has he's fought numerous wrestlers.
All of his matches are crazy,
There, yeah,
regardless
yeah.
of what they
Regardless
are.
what it is, yeah, exactly. So I think, but having CM Punk and under his name as his first match
Yeah.
is gonna be just good, whether he loses or wins. So I'm excited to see that match, and that's
That was the other thing I was gonna say is that listening to CM Punk's promo, kind of like you said, like you don't really know who CM Punk is. You haven't watched him wrestle or really very much.
yeah.
Like I feel like this promo really helped.
It showed who he was, because
It did.
I could tell what kind of wrestler he was just by the
It
promo.
really helped for like the people like you that didn't watch at that
Yeah,
time to learn who he was and what he's gonna do.
yeah. No, yeah, yeah, definitely, I agree with you.
It kind of intrigues that audience that doesn't know who he is,
Yeah.
which I'm sure there's not very many of them.
And I mean, right now, wrestling, in the wrestling world, that's literally the one of the biggest things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, WWE tried to stint that. We'll talk about this in our next thing coming up. But WWE tried to stint this with a comeback of Becky Lynch,
Yeah.
and I still feel like, um, CM Punk's comeback is
It's better.
30 times bigger. So,
Yeah,
um,
we'll get into that
yeah,
next segment because
yeah,
we don't want to
yeah.
go too far into that and take out of the
Um,
next segment.
so with Rampage is an hour long show, and I think they've been stacking them like it's almost like a mini pay-per-view. I don't know if you saw the first episode of Rampage,
I don't
but
think so.
they open with Christian Cage, which is Christian from WWE,
Yeah,
and Kenny Omega for the Impact World titles.
and
That
that
match was
was
insane.
a amazing match.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Christian got to win the belts.
Yeah,
Like I'm glad that they did that.
they took it off of Omega.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah,
It made it seem like Omega isn't like, even though he's arguably one of the
he's not
best
invincible.
wrestlers right now, I feel like he's not invincible exactly.
Yeah,
It's almost like I wish it was the same case, but almost like AJ Styles. I feel like AJ Styles should have been like who Kenny Omega is in the WWE.
yeah.
Like one of those people that you can't beat unless you're
Well, I was gonna say that
like phenomenal.
when he first came in, that's how he was.
Yeah, well,
He held the what
yeah.
was it, the Universal or the WWE
I think the
Championship?
WWE
He
Championship.
held it for like a year and a half,
Yeah,
and he was like you said, he was practically unbeatable.
yeah.
I don't even remember
I
who
wish
beat
they would
him.
do that again. I wish. I wish.
Well, I
Um.
feel like they're trying, but
Yeah. So kind of moving on to the matches of the AEW Rampage for that night. So they had the Jurassic Experience versus Private Party.
Express, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Express.
that's all right.
I keep
Close
saying
enough.
Experience.
It's Viking
Did you get to
experience.
watch that match?
I watched the whole show.
Okay,
I didn't
so
know it was an hour long. I was looking at it and I was watching it and I was like, wow, this is a really good show. And then
dude,
it ended and I was like, that was only an hour.
it's like you had so much fun. It went so fast.
Yeah,
No, the that match was really good. I
it was.
I'm a little biased to the match though because I'm a really big Jurassic Express fan.
Luchasaurus.
I love Luchasaurus, and
Luchasaurus carries
I think
everything.
he's just well, it's not even that. It's even
Lucha Boy or
the Jungle Boy.
Lucha Boy.
Lucha Boy. Jungle Boy is nasty. He's
He
really good.
is. He's
Um,
insane.
and then Luchasaurus is that dude's just awesome. Do
Private
you know he's a
parties.
history teacher or historian or something like that?
I did not know
Yeah,
that. He
that's
has like a
crazy.
master's or something in history or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then Private Party. I mean,
Private
I
Party,
don't
they're
know
good.
much about them.
It's funny because I can't remember which one it is. It might be Mark Quinn, I think his name is, but every time they throw him up or something like that, he like screams. Have you ever heard that?
No.
No, they'll throw him up and he'll be like, ah, like
That
really,
reminds me
really
of
high pitched though.
it reminds me of Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Xavier Woods does that
We'll
too.
do that too, yeah. No, it's kind of funny because every time they do that, like they'll throw him like over the rope or something, or they'll
And
throw
he
him like,
screams.
and he screams like super loud.
That's
So I
funny.
think that's kind of funny, and
It's
that kind of
supposed
gives a little bit of
I was gonna
entertainment.
say it's supposed to be like a comedy kind of
Yeah,
thing, I
yeah,
assume.
exactly. I feel like yeah. On to the next match. Oh, by the way, I think Jurassic Express won, which I want to win. I want them to
Yeah.
win the whole thing because I think they need to
The
go.
tournament, yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to beat the Young Bucks. I hate to say that. I think they need to beat the Young Bucks though to push them a little bit more.
Yeah, because
Um,
they haven't really had a big push.
yeah, well, it's
They
been
had
like
a
they have
little
like a
bit of a
medium push.
push,
Yeah,
and
I
then
feel
they
like
died
so
off.
the one team that I feel like is gonna win though, and I won't argue is gonna be the Lucha Brothers. Uh,
Yeah, because
because
they have a big push going
they
right
have a
now.
really big push, and not only
They
that,
won that ladder
they have kind of a
match and
weird
all
story
that.
going on with Andrade right now, which
Yeah.
is I don't know about all that, but moving on to the next match. The next match was Jade Cargill and
Kira
Kira
Hogan.
Hogan. Um, it was a good match.
It was a squash.
It was
Wasn't
right.
it?
Yeah, I
It's,
can't remember. I
I'm
think
pretty sure it was a squash match.
yeah. I mean, it was not rememberable, I guess.
Yeah. I will say out of that whole
Out of
show,
the whole
that
show,
match
that
like
match, because
didn't really
I
matter.
mean, they kind of had a middle ground. So you had like that match. Well, you had the Jurassic Express and Private Party, and then this match, and then after that was
John Moxley and
yeah,
Daniel.
and Daniel. Um, so I mean, it was a good women's match, but from what I can remember, it just was a match.
It was fairly short
It was
as well.
it was one of those just like a
It's
match.
kind of like a filler match.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then I guess skipping that, right? And moving on to the last match.
Going to Moxley.
Yeah, as Daniel Garcia and John Moxley.
I will say, compared to the last time I saw Moxley, he put
Yeah.
on a lot of weight.
I feel like he did too.
Like he looks, I don't know whether it's muscle or he's just like he
I mean-
seemed super skinny last time, and now he's like
I mean,
he's bigger
he is a
now.
dad now, so
Yeah.
he got that dad bod going.
I mean, it didn't
So-
really affect his wrestling very much.
No. The match was really good. Again, I think the whole show kind of got outweighed by CM Punk. So not necessarily a bad thing because the whole show was actually a really good show.
Yeah.
Like from beginning to end, it's like you said, like so much happened, and by the end of the show, you're like, oh wow, it's over already. Like
Yeah.
it just went by so fast.
So that's my other thing is I'm not sure whether, like thinking about it now, I'm not sure whether it would have been smarter to put CM Punk at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
that would've been-
opening the show or ending the show.
I think
regardless.
opening the show is good because it set like the pace of the show,
Yeah.
which honestly, so far for Rampage, they've only been doing, I believe, 3 matches, and then like they'll do like two segments of people talking,
Yeah,
and I feel like both, but that like concept of
it
having, hey,
works.
we only have an hour, we're gonna cram the heck out of the show.
Yeah,
It works, and not only that, every match that they're putting into the show has been like a pay-per-view worthy match.
yeah. Well, that was the other thing I was gonna say is, regardless, it was a good show.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah,
they didn't have the CM Punk, it was a good show.
yeah. I mean, but
Now,
there would have been a ride
say,
if there was no CM
yeah,
Punk.
I was gonna say, they put CM Punk at the beginning of the show. He did the same thing, and
Hmm.
then the rest of the show sucked. Then that would have been
That
a
would have been different.
huge
Exactly.
difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus if the show sucked and then he was at the very end, then it would turn the whole show around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would think of is, I mean, opening it, I think it worked,
No. Yeah. Definitely. Honestly, if I had to give the show like a rating,
especially with
if
all
I
the
had a
people
rating
chanting.
system, I would probably give it like a 5 out of 5 because it was, to me, it was that good of a show.
Yeah,
Where it was like
I'd give it a 9 out of 10
yeah. So I mean, pretty close, I guess.
for an hour.
Yeah. For an
An
hour.
hour
Well, you
show.
got to think
Yeah.
so. An hour is not overwhelming too.
No,
Now it is on Friday, and if you're watching SmackDown and then
you
you go
almost
straight into that, that's a lot of
yeah.
wrestling. That's
Then
another
you
3 hours of wrestling, and that probably wears you out. But
and
lately, I
like a
haven't.
solid hour to an hour and a half of any WWE show right now has been just filler.
It
It's not
is.
really
What's
story very
weird is
much.
even on the SummerSlam pay-per-view, which we'll talk about in a second, but there was a lot of filler in that pay-per-view as
It
well.
was,
So like I
which
don't.
like they could have done.
They
They
could
could
have.
have done without.
Yeah,
That's one thing with AEW so far that I've
it's
noticed
all
is
wrestling.
it is. It's a lot
Well,
of
so
wrestling with very minimal filler, and when there is filler, it's usually like it's not a half an hour match. It's
so
usually like
that's
a 5 minute match or
yeah.
a
So well,
squash or
so
something.
that's what CM Punk was talking about.
Yeah,
Like he's like, the reason he's like, when I left wrestling, I was in ROH. When I left pro
yeah.
wrestling, I was in
Which is when
ROH.
he transitioned to WWE,
And
and he said I
and
was out of wrestling until now.
yeah, pretty much, and that's because it's not wrestling, it's not pro wrestling, and they tell you it's not pro wrestling. It's
No, it's
sports
entertainment.
entertainment,
Yeah,
It's a show. It's a Barnum and Bailey.
pretty much.
That's pretty much what it is. I mean, look at John Cena, um,
Perfect example.
swinging fake punches that you could clearly see it was fake
Clearly
punches.
see that they were fake.
But again, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think I'm gonna be watching Rampage every Friday because it's been just such a good show.
Well, every time it's on.
Or yeah, because I don't know if they'll change up the dates. They've been doing that. I mean, I already watch every Wednesday for
AEW.
Dynamite. Yeah, for
Yeah.
Dynamite. So Rampage,
I honestly,
I'm pretty sure I'll be
CM
watching that.
Punk's on now. I'm watching AEW.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ship.
Jumping ship, getting out of that WWE life.
He's by far one of my top three favorite wrestlers of all time. So
Top three. Okay.
yeah,
I think
of all time.
yeah. Didn't we talked about top wrestlers? Was he on your list? I can't remember.
No, because we were talking about wrestlers that are
Oh,
still
that are still going.
in WWE. Yeah, we
Mm,
weren't talking about like old school
that's right.
wrestlers.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure he's gonna have some really awesome matches. So
Oh, speaking of which,
yes.
sorry to extend this
You
even more.
interrupted the end of us. No, I'm just kidding.
I was told yesterday by
Yeah.
a coworker that all of his merch on their website,
Yeah.
uh,
Sold out.
it made the website crash,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and everything is on a 3 month back order now
Whoa.
for his stuff. Yeah,
Well, I'm
all
sure-
of his stuff is on
Did you hear
3 month
about the
back order.
ice cream he was giving out?
Yeah, when
So
they were leaving, like when he said, "Yeah, get your free ice cream bar," they
So,
were actually
They were
handing out
handing
ice
out
cream.
ice cream at the end of the show, and I guess the next morning, people were selling the ice cream for $1,000
I did
on
not know
eBay.
that.
Yeah, it was starting at like 500 and going all the way up to $1,000 on eBay. Or
See,
something,
those
something
people shouldn't be allowed in the shows.
like that. I mean, if you're selling, people are selling just the wrapper for 500, I think.
That's insane.
And then they're like, "You want the full ice cream bar? You want to taste CM Punk?"
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Right?
whoa,
That's
whoa.
That's what they're saying.
Whoa,
It's CM
whoa,
Punk
whoa.
ice cream.
That's weird.
Taste the
By the
punch.
time
No.
you get, by the time you get it, it's gonna be
It's melted,
melted.
right? It's like I need it shipped to Canada, and or like and they're like, or I need it shipped to
You need to
Zimbabwe or
wrap
something
it
like
in
that. Yeah,
friggin' ice
and the what's that? The
nitrogen, liquid
yeah,
nitrogen.
liquid. You get it and immediately crumbles.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would suck. $1,000 crumbled ice. Oh man.
So now we're gonna actually get into Summer Slam. Um, I will say so far, just looking at our list here, we have a list of like what the matches were.
I'm so like 50-50 on that show.
I am too, honestly.
Like some
I
of it,
think honestly that 1 hour Rampage was
I
better than the 5 hour
yeah,
SummerSlam.
it's
Honestly.
crazy.
I will
So
say the first match, the RK Bro and AJ Styles and Omos, I thought
that
match
match
was
was
pretty
really
solid.
good. Yeah. I honestly I thought they were gonna pull it AJ Styles and Omos win again.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. I think AJ Styles needs to just go on his own again. No
Yeah, I don't
offense to
like the
Omos.
Omos. Yeah.
I mean, Omos, he's good as a big guy. I feel like he would do better on his own. If he just
Yeah, he could be like a Braun Strowman almost.
if they
Yeah.
push him correctly, he would be an awesome Braun Strowman. Like he
Yeah.
would be that caliber of
And then
wrestler where he
AJ
could
can
just
go
go.
after a belt or
Yeah, and
something
AJ
again.
could do his own thing, man. He can go
Um,
get the United States champion
I
or
do,
the Intercontinental and keep it for like ever.
I like RK Bro. I think
Um,
they work pretty decently
I
together.
do. They okay. So
Being like completely opposites
even though I didn't watch wrestling around the time, when
when they started.
Danny O'Brien and uh Orton were in team,
Yeah,
I think that this team has the potential to pull that off too.
yeah,
Almost kind of like Kane and Danny O'Brien,
yeah.
where they
Like
were
they
like
were
the two
complete
opposite
opposite,
team,
and they worked.
and they worked. I feel like this would work if they allow it to
I do,
just go.
I do find it funny if you actually when we were watching it,
Mhm.
I noticed it. You can see Orton pretty much just telling him what to do.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
He's
or
like,
you have
"Hey,
to,
stop, stop, stop," and then they like hold the belts up. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
pretty
mean, you have to
funny.
think too. Is Orton is the veteran in this team?
Yeah,
You know, he's been doing it for longer. I mean, not to say that Matt Riddle is not a veteran because he's been doing it for just as long probably, but the show aspect of it,
yeah.
it's
Orton
Randy Orton knows how to do it
knows what to
already.
do.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you noticed, but they all stopped when they like lifted their belts.
Yeah.
Any belt match, they all stopped in that same area. It was probably
To
like
lift
a
it. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably like a
It's like a
filmed
set
area. Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
Man, the next match was garbage.
Yeah. It was. It was.
That match was
It was so
garbage. It
stupid.
was Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie. Honestly, I don't even know why they brought back Eva Marie.
I was honestly
Like,
about to say that too. I don't even
like
understand why. What was the point in bringing
there
her
was a
back?
time and
She's
point
not.
where she came back to NXT and she was actually doing okay, and it was because she was training.
Even
she was
then, like
Yeah, I know then she was still horrible, but she was training, she was actually working. And
they're like trying to give her this push that like
I don't know what they're trying to do.
it doesn't.
And then
It doesn't work.
the other wrestler, I can't remember her name for
Dewdrop.
Yeah, but I can't remember her other name. When she was on NXT UK, she went through another name. She's a
Uh,
really good wrestler.
I haven't even being
And
with
then
Eva Marie. I haven't even seen her wrestle honestly.
no, dude, like the other girl, the Dewdrop chick,
Yeah.
she's a really good wrestler, and I feel like
They're just wasting it.
they're just
Wasting her.
wasting that talent. Yeah, like she can be like, she could probably have really good matches against, you know,
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa
or something
Bliss
like
or
that.
something. Yeah, um,
I will say the whole Alexa Bliss thing.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that they kept it.
I liked it when it first started with the
Yeah,
Fiend and
with
all
the Fiend,
that,
yeah,
and it
it made
worked.
sense. It made sense. It had a story.
And
Now they don't have I don't feel like they have a story.
now it just seems like they're winging it, and
They're like too focused on that little toy too.
what was that? And she like for how like dark and twisted they're trying to make her. Like when she
It
was
just doesn't make
walking
any
out to the
sense.
ring, she was saying hi to all the kids and like tapping their dolls and stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
that
and that's
doesn't
cool.
play into your character
That's
though.
cool,
It
but
is, but it doesn't play
because
into
it's
that character.
technically in the grand scheme of things, she's still in the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
Like
So
the look of
she's
everything is still the Firefly Funhouse, and all they
they
did
just
was
don't
they
like
changed
claim
it
it.
to Alexa's play something
Playground.
playground or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and I feel like they just kind of need to let Alexa leave for a little bit
And let her come
and
back
let her
as
come
like
back as Alexa Bliss.
herself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do the fiend thing
Maybe
anymore
even
because it
like
doesn't work.
if they're gonna do that, like maybe even make it so like she doesn't remember any of it.
Or that, yeah. Like people are like, yeah, like she comes back
Like
and then people are like, "What's wrong with
what's her
you?"
name? Nikki Cross, for example.
Ah,
Like Nikki Cross will go up to her and be like super upset with her or something, and she'll be like, "What's wrong?" Like
dude,
she won't understand
that's
kind of the
another person they ruined, Nikki Cross.
yeah, it made her
Dude, I really like
almost a
I really
superhero.
like Nikki Cross, and they gave her this cheesy character that they try to make her like what's his
Almost a
name,
superhero.
the Hemsley dude, the wrestler, the green guy. Don't know why I can't remember his name.
Hurricane?
Yeah, the Hurricane. Yeah.
Try to make her like almost a
Yeah,
superhero.
yeah, and I'm just like, ugh, nah, get it
Hunter
out.
Hurst. No,
Nah, that's Triple
that's
H.
Triple
Yeah,
H.
that's Triple H. No, I just,
I don't remember his name.
with the Alexa Bliss thing, that match was just garbage.
Yeah. And
Like it
then
was
the
a
good thing
horrible match.
is it was in between two decent
It
matches.
was, yes, because
So
the next match was pretty all right actually.
is Sheamus and
Sir,
Wobbly
Sir
Legs,
Wobbly Legs.
Damian Priest.
It's our inside joke.
Yeah.
Sir Wobbly
Sorry,
Legs
no
because
one's gonna understand it.
he's really tall and he runs and his legs look like they wobble. Not to say that he's not like a bad wrestler. He's actually
No,
a really
he's a
good
really good
wrestler.
wrestler.
It's just our inside joke.
Yeah.
But that match was really good, and I really like that uh Sheamus put 100% into the match like always, and Damian Priest won, and
He
I think
actually
that
sold
yeah.
because there is matches you can see that
Oh
Sheamus he
yeah.
doesn't sell
Yeah,
at
I mean
all.
Sheamus is on that old school life, and a lot of the old school wrestlers
You like take a
you
hit,
have to
then
learn,
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say you take a hit and then you get one back kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. So having Damian Priest win the belt was really good, especially having him come off of the WrestleMania with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best thing they could have
It's a
done.
good push, yeah.
I hope he doesn't get squashed by his next opponent or something like that. I hope they kind of keep building that up
Yeah, they
because
do like to do
he's
that.
yeah, exactly. He's one of those guys you have to think. So he's one of those guys kind of like Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns first came in,
He had something to prove,
yeah,
kind
he had to
of
prove himself,
attitude, yeah.
and now look at Roman Reigns now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do anything, and even like the people that hated Roman Reigns are cheering for him
Yeah.
because of his character. So I think that's the same thing with Damian Priest. Is he already has these people that are cheering for him? All they have to do is just keep that momentum going and keep him on the same track, and
Yeah.
he'll be fine. He needs to work on his character a little bit more. I feel like his character is it's not there as good as it could be.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's an awesome wrestler. So I
Yeah.
think that I think he's good
Speaking
with that.
of Roman Reigns, we're gonna go over to his cousins now.
Oh, the Usos.
Usos and Mysterios.
That match was good.
It was decent.
I
I
feel
wouldn't
like
say it was as good as it could have been
yeah,
because
I agree.
all four of them are pretty
They're awesome wrestlers.
high end decent wrestlers.
Yeah, yes, but dude, Dominic, honestly, for
Going
kind of
from
being new to
yeah,
the environment, right? He's
killing it.
he's good. He's good. From his first match to now,
I
he's
mean,
he's
he's
been
got the
good.
blood
Yeah.
to help him out a little bit.
I want what I want, and I'm not sure, if this will happen or when this will happen, but I want
Him to become
him
the
to become a
next.
heel,
Oh,
and I
like
want him
betray
to
his
betray
father.
his dad. Yes,
That would be insane.
because think about it this way: no one likes being told what to do, right? And this whole time, from when he first started wrestling all the way to now, and probably for the next couple months,
Ray is
Ray's always telling him what to do.
Yeah.
Like apparently I didn't watch SmackDown, but he cheated on SmackDown, and Ray was like, "You shouldn't do that," and I got mad.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's gonna build up to where he's like, "Stop telling me what to do. I'm not a kid anymore."
Maybe that's gonna be.
The WrestleMania match.
It's gonna
And
be
Rey Mysterio.
Ray's retirement match is him against his son.
See, that would be awesome. So that would be an awesome end to Rey Mysterio. Like Rey Mysterio is one of the greats. Don't get me wrong. But
After the match,
you could tell he's getting old.
he finally takes his mask off for everybody to see his face.
You know
and
what's
he gives
funny?
it to his son.
You know what's funny about that? We've seen Rey Mysterio's face.
Yeah,
Numerous
we
times.
have.
He's been demasked like 100 times.
Yeah, and then every time he like covers his face. And,
Yeah.
like, dude, we've already seen you.
But no, I do. I want to see his son get, turn heel and just demolish him,
Yeah,
because it would not only be passing the torch, but it would also be like he's his own character now.
yeah.
And he
which
could
would
still
be
come
cool.
out as, Dominic Mysterio, or take out the Mysterio name and just be
put
Dominic. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? There's so many things they could do with that.
Toretto.
For the family. Oh, snap. All right, so the next thing was Shinsuke coming out. I like Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm glad he's the champion, but
I don't like that.
it was
He
so
just
pointless
walked out with the
yeah,
belt just to do his guitar and stand on the table with Pat McAfee.
it was so pointless for him to come out, I feel like.
It was.
It was almost as pointless as WWE putting commercials on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. You know,
I-
$60 for a pay-per-view. And
I get it. No,
Still has
but
commercials.
I get it. The
well, yeah,
pay-per-views, they have to
they
swap
have to swap the ring,
and all that stuff.
crap.
But
But still,
they literally do a commercial every
like,
2
just
seconds.
have somebody come back and cut a promo or something.
Or do a promo in the back.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
do
exactly.
have somebody cut a promo, play. I don't know, play something that's gonna be more interesting.
Yeah, they just do the same 2 commercials too. It was Kofi
Yeah.
Kingston running on walls and stuff.
Yeah, and then
And then they didn't even show the video game. I think they showed the video game like once. The 2K.
oh yeah,
22.
they said they were gonna reveal like a
Yeah,
trailer. Or
I think they
something,
did it
and
in
I
the
didn't see
beginning,
one.
but I didn't get to see it. The next match was Bianca Belair
Versus
and
Sasha,
well, it was versus Sasha Banks,
and it
then
wasn't.
Sasha Banks. I don't know what happened, why
They're
she's
like,
not at
oh,
shows. Be
she's
something
not
personal.
coming out or something like that. And
But,
then they're like, oh, well, I guess Carmella's gonna
Yeah,
come
Carmella
out.
came out. Yeah, and
And Bianca's like,
I think I was there with the audience. Like when Carmella came out, I was like, I don't mind Carmella. She's a good talent. She's a good wrestler. But
she just like
she
it doesn't
she-
work.
yeah, that they're
For
like
the current situation, it doesn't work.
I feel like they need to rebuild up Carmella. Carmella did awesome when she was the champion.
Yeah, and then now they're just like, all right, you can take side matches.
Yeah,
kinda thing.
yeah, and they're not building anyone up correctly. I feel like that's the problem.
And
But then Becky Lynch came out, and
you know, the crowd, they said
mean,
the
the
roof
crowd-
blew off the
Yeah.
place. I highly doubt that.
Was it a baseball field or a football?
It's a
stadium?
football field.
Oh, well, there was no roof.
Interesting thing about that, actually.
It doesn't have a
Which-
roof.
It does. It does. It's a glass roof. It opens and closes.
Oh, look at
and
that
stuff like that.
glass. It's glass.
Um,
It broke.
But interesting thing about that, now that we've mentioned the stadium,
Mhm.
I was telling coworker about this. This stadium was open last year for the Raiders
Yeah.
because they're in Vegas now. They had no fans last year. This event was the first event at that stadium with,
with
fans,
fans?
and it wasn't even a football game.
Wow.
So
And it was packed.
it was a full stadium.
You know, it's crazy, right? It was packed with people with like masks under their chin.
They were supposed to be wearing masks, like
Well,
it was required.
Everyone
and
looked like they were
just-
wearing, but they were like down on their chin and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the mask
They're gonna have to sanitize
life that we
whole
live
field.
now. Yeah. We got to
Um,
wear masks every day, so
yeah, true.
until we die, probably.
You're not wrong.
It ain't nothing but a thing, It ain't nothing but a thing.
But like we were
Um,
saying, Becky Lynch blew the roof off the place, according
that
to
match.
who said that? Was it Pat
Was-
McAfee or Michael Cole
So
or somebody?
funny thing, Pat
Maybe it was Corey
McAfee said it.
Graves.
Pat McAfee said it. It was Pat McAfee.
And then Michael Cole
and
repeated
then-
it, right?
I believe Michael Cole repeated it, and then 2 seconds after that, when Becky got the mic, she said it.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna blow the roof off this place." Or
And I
something
was like, wow,
that.
they wrote that in like hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna blow the roof off.
And the crowd, like, Yes, the crowd
Tristan,
went a
Tristan.
little. What?
We're gonna blow my roof off. That sounds weird, really weird, actually. We're gonna blow the roof off with this one.
What?
I don't know.
Pause.
It's such a weird thing to say 100
Pause.
times. We're gonna blow the roof off.
Yeah, I don't know. But even then, like even them pointing it out, the crowd really. I mean, they went a little crazy, but not that crazy, honestly.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So the crowd got crazy when she was coming out,
She
and
got in the ring
she got in
and
the ring, and the crowd got
grabbed.
quiet.
Well, yeah. So my thing was like, which I had said to you when we watched it, was like she got in the ring and she got in Bella's face and
Mm-hmm.
she like stood there and it's like, okay, start the match. And then she's like, oh, let me go grab the mic. And then she's like, I challenge you for the belt. We're gonna blow the roof off this place. I was like, that was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
already in the ring, just start the match
yep.
and that's it. And then she squashed her. And I was
Oh
like,
my
that was
god,
so pointless.
that was horrible. They should have had at least like if they were gonna squash right, they should have had a little tussle, a little back and forth.
Yeah, no, she
But
just
she
literally
punched her
did
in the
one
face,
move.
dropped her, and that was it.
Yeah.
And what
It
this is the thing
literally
is what WWE doesn't realize is when you do something like that, when you take your champion
and
and
just
she got
squash him.
squashed by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is a good talent too, right? She's good on the
She's a
mic.
draw. That's
She
all she really
exactly.
is right
She's
now.
the Brock Lesnar of the women's now, right
Pretty
now. I
much.
feel like.
Yeah.
So you do that to Bianca Belair. What that does is now the fans end up being like, well, I guess Bianca Belair wasn't as big as we thought she was,
Well, yeah, that's what I was
and
gonna say.
that
It's like
pushes her
they
down
took
now.
all this time from WrestleMania to now to build her up just to have her get squashed.
Yeah. Not only that, so the big thing about the match with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks was that they won an SB or something from it.
From
Yeah, from the
WrestleMania.
match. So that makes them look really good. You would think
Well,
that
that match was insane.
yeah,
That was probably one of the best matches of WrestleMania.
no, it was an awesome match, but you would think that because of that, they would Becky Lynch coming out. I know she just had her baby and stuff like that,
Yeah, she's
but you would
coming
think
back after like a
having
year
her
and a
come
half.
out at least the least they could do is give them a 5 to 10 minute match, even if they're not working hard.
Yeah.
You know, do like the most minimal things, punches, throw to the ropes. That's
Grab
it.
like do like a submission
Little
hold for
DDTs,
like
yeah.
yeah,
So
like
do it,
something not
dude. That's
insane.
another thing. You could do a submission hold for like 10 minutes, and people are gonna be like, "Oh,
Isn't her move a submission hold?
yeah, I believe so."
And she didn't even do it.
I don't
She
know.
what did they say? They said
She did
she
a
did a
punch.
move.
She did a punch, and she did like a side drop, and that was it.
Michael Cole called it like the man something.
Mansplain.
Something like that.
I don't know,
She's
but
like the man's bot. I don't know.
it was just that match was
It was a
such
bad
that
rock
was
bottom as far as I'm
that
concerned.
match was just
That was a dumb match. It had
garbage.
no they had no business doing
Yeah.
a
Like I
squash
said,
match
I
out
feel
of
like
it.
it should have been a normal match. Like I said, even if it was 5 to 10 minutes or even 2 minutes, they could have done more in
Yeah,
two
it was
minutes
like
than they did in
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
It was them talking for like 5 minutes and then a 2 second match,
Yeah.
and that
And
was
then
it. And it was just it was horrible, horrible.
they're like, "Oh, the belt's going on the baby."
But I will say the match after was
Jinder
Jinder Mahal
Mahal.
and Drew McIntyre, and I feel like they killed it. I don't know if you got to see this match.
I didn't watch the full match, no.
So it was pretty good. I mean, think about prior matches that both of these guys have had, and kind of put it into them doing it together.
I will say in general, I think for like the past couple years, Drew McIntyre's. I don't
Oh,
think
he's
he's
been
really
doing.
had any bad matches
No,
in the past few
I think
years.
he's been doing good. And then with Jinder Mahal coming back, prior Jinder Mahal, I don't feel like had horrible matches. Some matches were weird, like the one where he's locked in that weird Punjabi cage thing.
Yeah,
That was
they were
really
like
weird.
questionable matches. They
Yeah,
weren't really like
but it wasn't necessarily a bad match. So I feel like Jinder Mahal. I like Jinder Mahal. I think he's a good heel and he plays his character very well.
yeah,
So having them fight, I think, was perfect. Not only that, their people, their characters go back so far
Yeah, because they
They were
they
in
were in three
that
and B
yeah,
together
exactly.
with
So
Heath Slater.
I think it was funny because we were watching it and we're like, oh, where's Heath Slater? Like we kept saying that. Where's Heath Slater? He needs to be the special guest referee or something. So I think that was funny. But yeah, no, it was an awesome match, and I kind of went like exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it went back and forth, I would say,
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part.
Until the end when Jinder Mahal's like people come out, and then this is the part I guess you didn't see was Drew McIntyre takes out his sword and he starts swinging it at
Oh,
the, and they got out of the ring. Instead of swinging a chair, he's swinging a sword. That part was kind of funny, but yeah,
that's
that was a pretty
dangerous.
good match. The next match was Nikki Cross, Charlotte versus Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Yeah,
Triple threat. Yeah, that
that
match
match was
was
really good. It was really good actually. I I didn't like the ending, the outcome.
I
I'd
hate
said
that
this
they have to
earlier. I
give
really like.
Charlotte every belt that she has a
I see.
match with.
Okay, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that Charlotte gets the belts, because she's a good champion, right?
She is.
And
I
she's
don't
like the
like.
final boss.
Yeah, I don't like that. It seems like every match she gets where there's a belt, she
She
wins,
wins it. Yeah, I feel like
unless it's against Becky Lynch.
the person who got the short end of the stick was Nikki Cross.
Yeah, because she only had
Nikki
the belt
Cross.
for what, a month at
Well,
most.
so she got put into this ridiculous costume to be a dumb superhero thing, right? And then I already said I really like Nikki Cross as Nikki Cross.
Yeah,
I do not like the Nikki almost superhero thing.
yeah.
Like that gimmick
Again,
is
it's
horrible and
they're
it makes
trying to
her.
make it kid
Don't
friendly.
get me
That's the
wrong,
problem.
she's good. She's playing it really well, but it's just a horrible character for her. Like the crazy Nikki Cross that would come into the ring and yell and
Go
jump on the
crazy,
ropes
yeah.
and stuff. That was like, dude, like Nikki Cross is crazy. But I feel like they were like, oh, and if you want to succeed, put on this dumbass costume. And
And then yeah,
that's literally like,
and then she did it, and she's like, okay, I guess I gotta live this life now, kind of thing.
yeah, and that kind of sucks, man, cuz
Again, it's like it's counteractive kind of thing. Like you got Ripley and Charlotte being like the, I guess, the more adult like
yeah,
characters,
and it's funny
and then you have
because
Nikki Cross who's like the kid friendly character. It's like
yeah.
John Cena, like we were talking
Oh
about.
yeah, yeah,
John
that's
Cena's
another.
very kid friendly.
Yeah, well, is he now? He's
I
he.
would say he is.
Have you seen Suicide
I
Squad?
mean, not his movies, but his character in wrestling is.
Yeah, but I mean, Charlotte won that match, and I wasn't like super upset because I saw it
I wasn't
coming,
either. I was
but
just
I was just like, come on,
it's too predictable at this point.
Nikki should have won the belt. They should have kept pushing her.
Yeah.
Rhea
Maybe when
Ripley needs to work on her character.
I was gonna say maybe when she changes out of the superhero thing, then she loses the belt, and then she's like, oh, maybe it's the superhero thing.
Right, for real. And then the next match was Seth Rollins versus Edge. I liked that match.
I didn't watch it, so I didn't see it. I saw the
I
entrances.
liked it.
Edge's entrance was probably the best entrance of the whole
The
entire
whole
show.
show, yeah, they didn't do any special entrances. Like no one
Yeah,
had any. Like Charlotte's costume was awesome.
yeah,
I think it was. It looked like it was supposed to be the Infinity Gauntlet. Like she was the
like
Infinity
all the different
Gauntlet.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, and her outfit was Thanos's outfit,
Hmm.
which looked awesome. But it was like her own. Oh, hit the mic. My bad.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike. Abuse. Abuse. um, I feel like her costume was the good costume, but Edge's entrance was awesome.
His
He came out
entrance
like
was
with his
best.
old brood look. I feel like he should have came out with the white shirt with the ripples, the little flare
like the
things.
chain link look
Yeah, he
that
should
they
have
used to
came out
wear.
like that. That would have been kind of funny. But nah,
I do like when he like took the glasses off and he like got ready and his song actually came on. I
yeah,
like how he like went crazy.
yeah. I don't like his song. His like entrance theme song.
Yeah, no,
I don't like
it didn't work with how he was acting. Like
Yeah,
him going like insane,
but
like
no,
hyping
the
himself
brood
up.
entrance. I mean,
That was awesome.
it was awesome because it didn't only pay homage to like his old characters, right? It paid homage to Gangrel, which no one talks about Gangrel anymore.
And
You know,
Christian.
and
Now that
Christian, yeah.
Christian's in AEW.
You know, and I think that that was a cool homage to them
Yeah,
for
like
them to, if they're watching the show and they're, you know, they're friends with Edge, you know, they're probably like, dude, that's awesome. He did like our old thing, and
yeah,
especially Christian, because Christian's, you know, still wrestling. I think Gangrel wrestles too, but he's more indie. But
yeah,
you know, for both of them to watch it and probably be like, yeah, that's cool that he did that.
yeah.
Um, the next thing was a segment, right? It was
The Miz and
the Miz
Morrison
and
segment.
Morrison with their dumb water machine. And
They're
then Xavier,
arguing and
yeah, Xavier Woods came out with a like a super soaker,
yeah, and started spraying
and
them with it.
yeah,
I will say
it's kind of dumb.
it was dumb. Like I said originally, his shirt, the like redone NWO
Yeah,
with the New Day. I like that shirt. That's a smart decision on WWE's end
yeah,
to
because
make a shirt like
they're
that.
gonna sell those shirts like crazy.
Yeah, that shirt
Especially
was cool.
especially the New Day. It's funny that they broke up the New Day, right? Oh, Biggie had a match at the kickoff show.
Yeah,
For his Money in the Bank against Corbin, and Biggie won that. Did you
that's
watch
good.
that?
No,
No, it was an okay match. I mean, it was Biggie squashing Baron
Corbin.
Corbin. Yeah, I feel like Baron Corbin needs to go back to his Lone Ranger thing, whatever he is, and then figure out from there. But anyways, Xavier Woods doing the New Day, right, and Kofi Kingston doing the New Day. They split up the New Day, and the New Day is still probably one of their most profitable
Without a doubt.
groups because how much they sell.
Without a
You know what
doubt.
I'm saying? You know how many people want a New Day shirt? It's
So
crazy.
that's what I was gonna say is about that shirt is I feel like now they're learning that them being like crazy kid friendly
Yeah,
is it works,
yeah, but
but
it
if
works.
they're gonna make it more favorable to
Yeah,
most of the audience is adults, so they need to make something that's
yeah, but
neutral, which
the kid friendly thing works when
they're together.
the talent works with the kid friendly thing. So like
Yeah,
for example, Nikki Cross, I feel like she's trying to make it work,
yeah,
but it doesn't come across for the adult side. It probably doesn't come across.
the right way it
It comes
should.
across more with Alexa Bliss being a dark like Chucky
Kid
doll,
friendly, yeah,
and that's being more kid friendly. That and it makes no sense.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
that's what I mean. I feel like the like his shirt specifically being like the NWO style, but with New Day on it, like that.
is
It's gonna work
yeah,
because it
yeah,
appeals to everybody rather than just kids.
yeah,
Because I
and
honestly I would not wear their old shirts with like
with
all
the
the
rainbow
colors
and stuff
and
and the light blues,
unicorns and all that
shirts,
stuff.
yeah,
Like I would never wear one of those, but I would wear that like the NWO
yeah,
type
because it
shirt.
looks like a normal cool shirt, yeah.
Yeah,
But back to that segment, it's pointless. It
yeah.
was like the Shinsuke Nakamura thing, like they didn't
It's
need it.
filler. That's
They
all it
they
was.
didn't need it for the show, and already this show was a like a 4.5 hour show almost. They didn't need to have any filler.
No.
I get it. They could probably build for the next SmackDown or Raw, right? Like I could see the
Yeah,
New
but they
Day
could
fighting
again,
Miz and
they could
Morrison.
just throw that into the next SmackDown or
I
Raw.
know, and I don't know, man. They tried to make it like a full show, and some of the things just didn't work for the
It didn't
show.
click, yeah.
So the next match was Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Honestly, I like that match.
I thought it went better than I thought it would, considering the past few Goldberg matches have been pretty garbage.
Well, yeah, and you have to think. So the last person that Goldberg fought was it the Undertaker?
No.
Who was it?
Uh I
No,
have a feeling it
no,
was
it
Dolph
was Dolph
Ziggler.
Ziggler.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
it was his.
destroyed Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler made him look really
But that
good.
was the thing. So Dolph Ziggler made him look really good. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's good at that.
Speaking
But
of which, where is Dolph Ziggler?
he's
He's
probably
just
he's in a group with Robert Roode.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. They're called the Glorious Dogs or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Goldberg looked decent in this match, and at one point he was like winning, and everyone in the crowd was like,
Everyone was
"Boo!"
booing, yeah.
And I was same thing. I was in my couch like, dude, I really hope Goldberg doesn't win this match.
Oh, I don't think Anybody wanted
Now,
Goldberg to win. If Goldberg would have won, like
now I like,
everyone jumped ship.
yeah, well, I like how the match turned around and Bobby was starting to win.
Yeah,
The
and the way that he won was,
So I
I feel
say,
like that established his dominance.
okay, yes, but and there's a but there, right? He should have pinned Goldberg.
Yeah, it would have established more.
He would have he would have
If he would have
actually
like put his
beaten
foot on his chest and like posed.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
He would have actually beaten Goldberg.
Because Goldberg
Because
has like
Goldberg,
he has been beaten,
I
but
feel like
they used to claim him as the unbeaten.
yeah, and they
person.
still kind of do that, you know. But I feel like if he would have been pinned, like a clean pin, it would have not made Goldberg look bad.
No,
Because Goldberg's
because it's
Goldberg.
Bobby Lashley. Bobby
But it would have
Lashley's
made Bobby Lashley exactly.
insane.
It would have made Bobby Lashley look even better.
Yeah,
Like Bobby Lashley won because he injured his leg or his
Yeah.
knee, right? But I feel like there should have just been a pin, and it would have made Bobby Lashley look even better. Even if Bobby would have pinned him, and then still got the chair and beat him up, that would
Yeah.
have been that would have
It
been that would
would've
have
worked.
established him as even more of a
and
heel
then
than
his
he
son
already
jumps
is.
on the back of him and he puts him in a full
Well, that was
Nelson.
another thing. That his son
That was
came
so
out,
stupid.
and they're like, he's a kid.
When he put him in a full Nelson and then he like passed out, I was like, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
But,
I
okay.
mean,
he could have just picked him up
I
and
don't know.
slammed him. Like just
Yeah,
slam
he
him
could have
once
just
and he would have
slammed
been
him, and he
fine.
would yeah, he would have
Like just
knocked
one
out.
body slam because
Yeah.
he's not a wrestler. Obviously, he would have taken it.
Yeah, no, good match overall though. I thought it was a good
It was
match. I
pretty
didn't
good,
hate
man.
it. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. The next
though.
match was John Cena versus Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge him.
We have no.
We have to acknowledge him.
I thought the match was okay.
I mean, it was
a
pretty much
longer
a John Cena.
match.
match.
It was a longer match than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was like half an hour. Jesus.
Yeah. I think they did a good job.
It's pretty
you
quality.
know how I feel about John Cena. I don't normally like watching his wrestling matches because you could see him talking. You see him talking the moves out.
He pulls his moves.
He pulls his moves hardcore. And then not only does he pull his moves, because he's pulling his moves, the other wrestler pulls their moves.
Yeah.
So like Roman, I feel like Roman, when you watch Roman fight another wrestler, for
Usually
example,
he actually
you
hits them.
yeah,
almost.
you see them get hit.
Whereas
there
with
was
Cena,
there
you
was
could
times
see
where you could see that they were clearly apart from
missing,
each other.
yeah.
And
Especially the what's it called? The drive-by?
the drive by, and then what did John Cena do?
The five knuckle
the
shuffle.
oh
He
my
missed
god!
him by
He
like
hit
a
his
foot.
he hit his ponytail.
He missed him by like a foot.
That
The drive-by. So
Dude,
I
that
will
was
say
funny.
the drive-by, that was Cena's fault. That wasn't Roman's fault.
Cena turned too early,
Yeah, it was Cena's fault, 100%.
and the five knuckle shovel thing.
That's also
dude,
Cena's fault.
Oh my god, that looked so horrible. And the funny thing is, if you're in the crowd, they're
You're not
moving.
gonna
They're
see
moving
it,
so
yeah.
fast, you probably don't see it.
But the camera angle and
But the
everything showed it.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily, you can pause it and watch it like that, and
Yeah.
you see exactly where they're swinging. When they were swinging back, there was a part when they were swinging back and forth on each other,
And they're hitting
and
like
they're like either palming each other
yeah,
really
they're hitting
soft,
with like a palm.
or they're totally missing their shots. But they're going back and forth like they're actually getting hit.
Yeah.
So like when people are like, "Oh, wrestling's fake," it sucks because this is what shows
That's
wrestling is fake,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah. That's what
When-
equivalates it.
When you watch other matches, like
AEW.
not even not even AEW, dude. Bobby Lashley's match with Goldberg, for example,
They weren't pulling.
they were hitting each other,
not hard,
not hard,
obviously,
but they were hitting each other.
You can
Seth
tell.
and
yeah.
Edge, they were hitting each other. Charlotte, Nikki, and Rhea Ripley, they were hitting
Just
each
watch
other.
NXT, bro.
Oh, NXT,
They
dude,
hit each
oh.
other. They hit each other hard.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about NXT here shortly because it's NXT 36, and we're gonna go ahead.
Takeover.
We're gonna go ahead and Takeover 36. And we're gonna go ahead and watch that, and then come back to this and
Yeah.
and talk about it. But you know, all these wrestlers are, you know, they take the hits, and John Cena's not a small guy.
He's not.
He's a
He's a
pretty
very
big dude,
big
and
guy.
I'm pretty sure if you slap him in the face, he could take it.
I,
You know
I
what
think
I'm
he
saying?
could.
I mean, if you slap Roman Reigns in the face, I'm pretty sure he could take it. So I don't see why they can't make it look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
when Cena's in the ring. Yeah.
and I'm strictly talking about John Cena's matches because it's always John Cena's matches that I'm like, come on, dude, really? Like, you're such a hyped up wrestler, and to me, I haven't been proven that.
Yeah.
I haven't been proven that he's
Again,
one of the
it's like
greatest.
we were just saying. It's the kid friendly thing. He's
He's
super kid friendly, so
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
popular because of
Don't
that.
get me wrong, his character,
It works.
he plays his character perfect.
Yeah.
And I think
He's a
that
fan favorite
yeah.
character.
And I think, like I said, he plays his character perfect, but I think his wrestling skills, they need to be a little bit better.
I
That's the
agree.
only thing. So Roman won that match though,
Yeah,
and I believe it was a clean win actually.
it was. He pinned
Yeah,
him.
he
He
pinned him.
speared him and then
He
pinned
did.
him.
Didn't he do like 5 Superman punches?
He did 2.
I know. I was like 2.
Yeah, he did 2, and then he speared him, and then he won, and then
And then
he
the end
held
of the
the
match.
belt up,
Yeah, he held the belt up.
and
And then the end of the
Bork
match,
laser.
I fell asleep.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I missed.
We just rewatched it.
Yeah, we just
before this.
rewatched it, but I
Then
missed
Bork
laser.
laser comes out.
Anyway,
Brock
Brock
Lesnar,
Lesnar
for
came out
those who
with a
don't
man
know
bun and a beard, and he looked scary.
He looks twice the size he did when he
Yeah,
left.
he looked like a freaking elephant.
That's a weird comparison, but okay.
Not an elephant, but you know what I mean. Like big, like
Yeah, again, leg day. He needs legs.
legs.
Maybe it's his
legs.
genes just make
Everyone
his legs
needs
look really
legs.
bad. His genes made him look really
Um,
skinny legs.
Yeah.
But,
No, I think him coming out, I think that sets up for whatever the next pay-per-view is, or I don't.
It also sets Brock up because honestly, for all in the past like 10 years that Brock has been in WWE, he is easily the most hated of everybody.
Well, that's because he's like Charlotte.
He shows up once in
He
a
shows
while,
up
yeah.
once, gets a belt.
Yeah. So this pay-per-view, him coming out and everybody's cheering, this is exactly what they needed from him.
No, I
They
agree,
need
yeah.
him to be a baby face for once.
So I think it's because Okay, yes, I think it's because now Roman is the heel
And he's a baby
and
face.
he's the baby face.
And I feel like, knowing how Brock is, I feel like he's going to be a pretty good baby face.
yeah, I could see him.
He doesn't have to talk very much
No.
because he sounds like
He's not. Ha! No,
he sounds like
when
he
he
never
screams.
went through puberty.
Yeah, like us.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
But,
like
you know,
us.
we sound our voices are deeper than his,
Hey, how's it going?
so maybe he just doesn't talk.
got it.
That's another inside joke no one's gonna understand.
Yeah.
But I like
We'll
how
see.
he looks more scruffy. He looks bigger, and he's a baby face now because
Well,
everybody
we'll see
likes
if
him.
he's a baby face. We don't know yet.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Now-
Everyone's gonna cheer for him.
I was gonna
Regardless.
say, I hope what's the next big pay-per-view?
I don't know. They change their pay-per-views every year. I don't know what the
I
next one
hope-
is.
I hope
think-
that it doesn't go all the way to WrestleMania.
It's not Survivor Series. Survivor Series is November.
I don't know, but I hope it doesn't go all the way to WrestleMania.
I don't.
I
think
hope
it
they
will.
I hope they have a little scuff, and then probably Brock wins the belt, and then Roman has to, because Brock's
Win it
gonna win the
back or
belt,
something.
right? We're gonna establish that Brock's gonna win the belt at some point. There's no way he came back just not to get the belt.
Yeah.
So he's gonna win the belt, and then we were talking about Royal Rumble.
I mean, realistically, I'm gonna say this now. Brock can lose to Roman.
Yeah.
Brock loses to Roman, he goes after Bobby, because him and Bobby have similar careers in the fact that they both
Yeah.
left WWE, went to do MMA. They succeeded for a bit, failed, came back. They have very similar storylines, so he can go and face Bobby, and he can take that belt, because that would be like
I can see that.
that would be an equal match.
Yeah,
It's Bobby and Brock. They're both super powerful, blah, 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 blah.
I can see that.
It was like I was saying, Royal Rumble, he loses to Roman. Roman still has the belt all the way to WrestleMania. I still think, I'm going to predict it now, The Rock is going to come back at Royal Rumble.
You think The Rock's gonna be number 30, like the last person?
He
to come out?
could. Yeah. I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter what number he is.
What's the special number that people come out? Is in 27?
27. Yeah.
The Rock comes out in 27. That would be
So
perfect.
I'm calling it. The Rock's gonna come out at Royal Rumble as the like special
And win
guest.
it.
He's gonna win, and then he's gonna face Roman for like his retirement match. And then of course
I can
he's probably
definitely,
gonna lose.
I could definitely see that. Or he wins.
Or he wins, and then he just
Oh,
gives the
snap.
belt right back to Roman or something like that.
And he's like, "Cause I'm part of the family."
And then Vin Diesel comes out. Just kidding. Vin Diesel comes out in a
snap.
Charger and runs him over.
So we just finished watching Takeover 36 from NXT. So we'll go ahead and start with the first match, which we were a little late to. That was the $1 million belt match. From where we started, it was Cameron Grimes and LA Knight.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good match. From where we started, I think we were like we started 18 minutes into the match.
Yeah, and it still had like a good another like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that was a pretty good match. I mean,
Yeah.
It ended pretty cool.
Pretty solid match.
Ted DiBiase being in it kind of helped to like I guess like the old school fans.
Yeah, and then
kind of cheesy at the same time.
Yeah, his parts were not very good.
His forearm. There was a time where he hit LA Knight with the forearm, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, and then
But
he
then
put
he
him
did
in
something like a sleeper hold or something.
in his submission move.
That just looked super dumb.
Yeah. After that one was the women's title match, which, in my opinion, that match was kind of garbage.
So, I don't like either of the women's
Dakota
wrestlers.
Kai and
I don't like
what's her
them right
face?
now. If Io Shirai was in it, you know,
It would have
I
been
like
a good
Io
match.
Shirai.
Yeah.
I
They had too many botches for one, which
Yeah,
is sad
yeah.
to say. Almost every one of those matches does.
And
but
I mean, I felt like from the beginning of the match, I felt like Raquel Gonzalez was gonna win, anyways, and she
Yeah.
did win. So, she's a big person, so it's they're gonna have to find someone that can match her,
yeah,
and I don't think that's gonna be right now or anytime soon because
unless Shayna Baszler comes back.
Shayna- if Shayna Baszler comes back, well, Shayna Baszler would be in the main roster.
True.
They didn't let go of Shayna Baszler, no.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I haven't heard anything like that. I like Shayna Baszler. She's cool.
Yeah.
But our favorite match of the night.
The best
And that's-
match
that's
of
not to
probably
say
the whole
that-
weekend.
That's not to say that the other two matches of the night were bad or anything. This was just like
This
probably
match
the
could
best.
easily be. I was saying it could be a match of the year candidate.
yeah, like they should have put this in SummerSlam because it was
Yeah.
better than the SummerSlam show put together.
Yeah. Just the one match.
But it was Walter and Dragunov.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, that match was crazy.
That
I
match
think-
was awesome.
I think every 2 seconds we looked at each other and we're like, whoa.
Yeah,
So,
they did a lot of crazy stuff.
A lot
that-
of these.
Yeah, a lot.
On
A
chest.
lot of smacking each other in the
Dude,
chest,
like the
in the face.
Yeah,
it was
so
great.
Dragunov wins, but he's holding up the belt and his chest is just purple.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. It was a great match.
You
That
could-
was probably the best match. Like that.
That's a good
As
match.
far as Walter losing the belt after holding it for so long,
Yeah.
that was literally the perfect way for him to lose the belt.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, in
I
that
agree.
caliber
Dude,
of
it
a
was like what
match.
875 days or something like that.
870. Yeah,
That's crazy.
a year and a half.
That's crazy.
Well, no, two
No,
and a half
2,
years.
Yeah. yeah.
That's crazy.
You couldn't pay me $1 million to have one of these dudes slap me in the chest.
Mainly Walter.
That shit looks
Walter.
like it hurts.
You could hear that. They're across town, and we could hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. So the next match I put Kyle. The next match
Silent.
was Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Good match.
It
was a
was.
good match.
Well, good. 3 matches.
It was 3 matches in one. Yeah. They had
2 out of 3
2 out of 3
falls.
falls, and they went all 3 matches and ended in a steel cage.
Yeah.
Pretty good match.
The ending was kind of.
I figured Adam Cole was gonna lose.
Yeah. Cause
Like, I felt like Adam Cole was
It's
gonna
like his
lose.
last match, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. So like I guess his contract is up, or he's been signing like those
Like
the contracts,
couple day
yeah, like the
extensions
couple
or
day
whatever.
extension contracts type thing, and it was I guess until this. So there's rumor around the world that he might be going to AEW, but I
I
mean,
mean,
his wife, I mean, his girlfriend's there.
his
His girl.
he
So
made a
he
lot
did
of
kind of make
references in
he
the
did kind of make a reference. He did Britt Baker's move,
which is
Britt
his
Baker's finisher move, which is
girlfriend
his
or
girlfriend, yeah, or his
wife or
wife or
whatever.
whatnot. But
And then he set up the chairs exactly how Moxley did
Moxley
it.
set him up. Yep,
So
that was crazy.
that
He like
was the
flipped him
best
off,
part of the
dude. That
match.
was he like flipped him off the
Turnbuckle
turnbuckle onto the chair. That was
slammed his
crazy.
back.
See, John Moxley's was a little different. John Moxley got like I think he got like suplexed onto the chairs.
Well, he
This
did
one
like a. Sorry, Mike.
abuse.
He like put him in a suplex and like turned him around and slammed him
Yeah,
on
and
it.
slammed him down. I mean, either way, that dude, my back hurts.
Regardless, that would hurt.
My
Yeah.
back hurts after that. And then the final match was
Samoa Joe and Karrion Cross.
yeah. So
I feel like that match went as expected.
yeah, I think we both kind of think Joe was gonna win.
I had a feeling he was gonna win.
Yeah, I felt
because
like Joe was gonna win too. He's kind of coming back. Not only that, I didn't realize that he was gonna be the first
three-time
three-time NXT champion.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. They didn't like
So-
make that a big thing.
No, they didn't.
So,
Like they didn't make it. Normally they do,
yeah,
and they really didn't. So that's kind of cool that he's now the first three-time champion coming
Yeah.
out of an injury.
well,
which
it
was a
also
concussion, right?
kind of led. Yeah, it was a concussion. It also kind of led from Karrion Cross a few weeks ago. He was on main roster on like Raw and I think Raw and SmackDown
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and
he
I feel like that was like his trial.
he was
kinda period.
doing. I know he fought Jeff Hardy, Karrion Cross,
Yeah,
and the first time he lost, and he fought someone else. He fought Keith Lee, and he beat Keith Lee.
yeah.
And then again, he fought I think Jeff Hardy again, and he
And he
lost
beat-
again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that eventually he will move over. Normally in NXT, that's kind of how it works. You have the championship, you lose the championship,
And then you
and
move
then
up.
you move up.
Yeah.
But that kind of
And
changed.
then if you
that
fail,
changed.
they move you back.
Yeah, exactly right. That kind of changed with Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah,
and
because they
Adam
moved
Cole.
them up. And
They moved
then-
them up and they moved them back down.
Yeah, I remember
So-
that because it was like a solid. It was like a solid 2 months, I think, that
Yeah.
they were on main roster, and
They were.
it was literally.
they
I
were
think
using
we
them
went to the
randomly.
show, the very first show that they moved up. It was like the very first Raw or something. We were at the show.
I can't remember honestly.
I'm pretty sure we were. We were at the show when they like first came out, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna
I
do
just
a
remember.
tag team or
I
something."
just
like
remember
that."
them like being on the show and then like not being on the show.
Yeah,
It was
And
kind
then-
of super fast.
and then they were on NXT taking over like everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then kind of going back to the Adam Cole thing, like, I mean, this was the final match to end the Undisputed Era too.
Yeah,
So like, the Undisputed Era was Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly,
Roderick
Adam
Strong.
Cole, and Roderick Strong. And Roderick Strong, like I said in one of our last things, is he's in this new group called the damn, what is it called? Mind Diamond or something.
Diamond Miners,
Yeah,
or something, like that.
like that. And it's another. They came out for their initial like reveal, and then there was three of them. Now there's only two of them again,
Hmm.
because one of the guys that was in the group was part of the releases.
And then Bobby Fish also got released.
And Bobby Fish got
So
released.
now it's
so
just
now it's Adam
Kyle
Cole and
O'Reilly.
yeah, and I
uh,
feel like Kyle O'Reilly is obviously gonna stay in NXT, but
they'll probably give him a
I
push.
don't think Adam Cole's gonna.
I think
I think-
he's either gonna move up or he's leaving.
I
One
think
of the two.
I think he did all he can do in WWE. Even if he moves up, like,
They're not gonna give him the opportunities that.
even if he moves up to the main roster, I can see him
he
being like
deserves.
that side guy still. And I feel like that he would.
He'd be like Finn Balor.
Yes.
They
Exactly.
would make him like, oh, I'm gonna go for the belt and blah 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 blah, and then he's never gonna get that
And
chance.
yeah, and it's gonna kind of be like that's the end of it, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he was to go to like either like Impact or
AEW.
AEW, he would be treated correctly. Exactly.
They would
what
give
he
him like a quality storyline,
Yeah. No. Definitely. Definitely.
kind of
I
like
mean,
the CM
he's-
Punk thing.
Dude,
Like,
he's one of like the best. You
He
know,
is.
like you see
Andy's young,
that too. Yeah.
so he's got a lot of. If he goes to AEW, he has a lot of help
yeah.
as far
Yeah.
as the young talent goes.
But overall, pretty good show.
Yeah, I would say it was a good show.
Yeah, I liked it better than the
SummerSlam.
5 hours of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I still don't like it
uh,
better. I don't know. That Walter match
that
really
Walter match
carried it.
really carried the heck out
I
of
was
that
gonna say
show.
I like it better. I would say NXT was the best show of the weekend.
Of the week, yeah, I would probably say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it
Walter
beats
match, man.
AEW. Yeah,
Yeah, because you had the Walter match, the
Adam
Adam
Cole
Cole
match.
match with um Kyle O'Reilly and then Cross and Joe.
Yeah,
And I feel like they all put on like the best matches they could put on.
yeah, I agree. Alrighty, we want to go ahead and thank everybody for listening. This was the Noodle Shop. My name is Tristan,
And I'm Gio.
and please like, share, subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating. Uber Eats, Lyft.
That's so funny.
Also Yelp. Do all that fun stuff. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Next episode will be a little bit more of a random one, whereas this one was kind of
This one was kind of more
mainly wrestling. Yeah.
But we just got off of a week of wrestling, so like
Yeah,
bunch
a
of
big week
pay-per-views
of
and stuff.
wrestling. Yeah.
So it was a pretty
Definitely.
big episode.
Did you notice we've been wearing glasses the whole time?
What the heck? No, I didn't. Are we taking them off? I guess. Oh my god, I cannot
I
see.
can't see. I'm blind.
I did not know. I thought I wear
Yeah.
glasses normally every day.
I guess so.
Well, if you're listening, we were wearing glasses the whole episode.
Yeah. If you weren't listening and you were
Then you're
watching, you just watched us take the glasses off.
Yes.
Thanks for listening,
funny.
everybody.